Georgia.
Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday Night live stream. Hope y'all had a great week. How you doing, CW? How's your week been?
It's been an okay week. We've had some crazy weather, lots and lots of snow, lots of cold, but been pretty good. I've been working on videos. I got lots of videos in the queue. I've got lots of videos done. I hope everybody's enjoying them. I've got them out for the next week or so. Scotsman, what have you been up to? How was your week going?
Oh, not too bad. A little bit slower at work this week, but other than that, not too bad. Good to be here. It is Friday, so good to see everyone out there so far jumping in. Lots of good folks out there already. What's going on, Hillbilly?
Brother, man, the way to start off the weekend. Friday nights here on Georgia Shooting Connection. Woo-wee, I'm ready to have some fun, fellers and gals. My week's been doing great. Wake up every morning and got a pulse. That's pretty good stuff right there. What about you, Gene? What you been up to, brother? He's pulling a hillbilly.
You're right about that pulse thing, man. I'm glad to have one today. I had a busy week. Got to the range a little bit. Did some testing for my new open gun. Got to put a few videos out on that Echelon. Very happy with it. Got a few more to come. Thank you for having me on tonight, man. We're gonna have a good time tonight and just have a lot of fun. Walter, what about you?
No, I had a puny week. I got a head cold. Came down with it Tuesday night, and it's fighting a good fight. But boy, I'm getting sick of chicken soup. I'll tell you that much. And so you're not going to hear a whole lot from me tonight. I've got about 2 more of these cough drops to swallow, and then maybe I can talk. But I managed to get a little bit of casting done yesterday, and that was fun. But that's been about the only time I stepped out of the house this week. So that's it. I ain't got nothing else to say. It was a head cold week for Viejo. Dr. Zink, what's happening, dude?
Me?
You.
Okay. My week has been hectic. We've been super busy at work. I mean, you guys don't really know what I do, but some of the time, super busy. So it's been hectic all week. Glad to be off home, sitting down, relaxing. Glad to be here. Want to give a shout out to everybody in the side chat. Thanks for being here. And I'm working on my old Smith & Wesson Chief 38 Special. I'm not sure the year it's made because the serial number that's stamped in the handle doesn't seem to exist. It's supposed to be pre-64. Okay, it was supposed to be like 58. I was told when I bought it, 40 years ago, whatever it was. And I decided to dive into it because it's that, I don't want to say it's neglected by me. It's in the same condition I got it in, but I decided to really get into it and start taking things apart and play and clean and debating if I'm going to try to reblue certain parts of it or whatever. Trying to find one part, and they seem to offer 3 different ones. One I can rule out. The other 2 I got to get real measurements to know if it's going to fit or not. But it was interesting issues with the gun. It seemed like there's some wrong parts in it. So taking apart the cylinder and the ejector pin wouldn't come out. It was like it's the wrong one. I tapped it out, got it out. It didn't take much tapping to get it out, but it seems to be oversized. So I might just have to sand it a little bit to where it goes through the rest of the parts in there to get it in and out easier. And the guy that I've never had it apart. I don't know all the parts. The main extracted part that you push to eject the bullets. It's a 2-piece system. Like I guess both of them. It turns off. It's left-handed thread, and the guy that owned it way before me. Okay, he was a cop, and I don't know if he ever tried to take it apart, but the little knurling on the end was all like diced off and whatnot, and probably from turning it the wrong direction because I had one hell of a time to get it off. It was really tight. So I don't care if the knurling's on it or not. If I can't get the right one, I'll just clean it good and re-blue it. But it's in good shape, basically. There's no rust. The only rust is on the back strap. So, which was because the guy had some type of Pachmeyer grip on there that really wasn't for the gun. And it fit the J frame, but it was too big when it came up to the trigger guard. So he cut the tang of the grip off, okay? And so it's kind of like a little butchered looking. I do have the original wood grips, which is good, but they're too small for my hands. So I'm supposed to have a grip here today from Midway. It's supposed to be delivered today. It's still out for delivery, but my mail people came already, so it ain't coming today. So anyway, that's what I've been playing with. Oh,
Very cool.
One more thing for those that didn't see it. Tab Videos, TAB, okay, he sent me an unexpected box of zinc. And we've traded some. He's sent me some zinc in the past when he gets some, and I sent him some tin. And he'll be very surprised at this box of tin that's coming to him because this will last him a while. And then my challenge for the zinc for tin, I got nobody from YouTube hitting me up. I posted it on my little group on MeWe. I got 6 people already gathering. They want the tin and they're gathering the zinc for me already. So it's like, okay, I got responses. So I don't know. That's about it.
That's pretty neat. We used to get a lot of strange guns, and being where I'm located, there's so many gun manufacturers so close by. I literally, I mean, every given day, any time of the day, we literally had employees of these gun stores in the store. You know, that's how close we are. Lunchtime and stuff, people would come and go into stores, and so we would call them lunchbox guns. Now they're not illegal. There's nothing illegal about them. They weren't stolen or anything like that, but they were built by parts, you know, in lunchboxes. So they're mismatched, ill-fitted, all kinds of things with like serial numbers that would pop up from 20 years before the cylinder is a modern one, and the frame is, you know, from 1940, and it's just wild, the stuff that we would see, you know, and we call them lunchbox guns, you know. They just seem to always pop up because we were so close to the gun manufacturers.
So they're kind of like Johnny Cash guns.
Yeah, exactly like
Like the
they
fella
never made this gun.
retired.
Well, I've got one. You know, they never made that gun in this caliber. Well, I got one, or I've seen one, or one's gone through the books. You know, there's pretty much nothing that hasn't been made. Any caliber of anything. When you live close enough to all these gun manufacturers.
It's like the fella that retired. He worked in this big warehouse where he said, you know, just everything from A to Z or whatever, you know, brought in, they shipped it out and everything. And the security guards there, you know, like they check their lunch boxes and everything, coolers on the way, you know, on the way out every day and stuff. So this one fella, he retired, and the security guard's been there for years, you know, told him, said, hey, Jim, he said, all these years I've caught, you know, pretty much everybody taking something out of here in their lunchbox, you know, even if it's just a pencil eraser or something. But I've never caught you taking one thing out of this warehouse over all these years. Said, now you're retired, you know, today's your last day. Be honest with me. Have you ever took anything out of this warehouse? He said, yeah. He said, I'm ashamed of it, but he said, yeah, I have stole some stuff from this warehouse. He said, what was it? And he goes, lunch boxes.
Even a dog like that one.
Mark, I got an email from him, and he says he might be a little late, but he's on his way. Hey, Christian Grass, what's going on, buddy?
He's got a little bit of a drive, you know. It's not just a hop, skip, and the jump from Pennsylvania to Georgia.
Right.
By the time he gets here, all the food in the green room's going to be gone.
I saw Gene with his pockets full. I didn't want to say anything, but he was taking the last of that.
Ooh, pizza.
There we go. Pizza. Not pizza, though. That's a different place.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't do CC's, or not CC's. Our CC's went out of business, man.
Oh, I forgot all about that place. Yeah, they've been going around here for a while.
And Caesars, Little Caesars, yeah,
Little Caesars is going around here too. They're not around here anymore.
they're still here.
Yeah, we still got them here in Ohio. They took over all the when family videos collapsed. They seem to inhabit the buildings.
There's empty buildings. Well, grab them.
Nah, Little Caesars inhabits the old family videos.
Yeah.
So anywhere there was a family video, there was a Little Caesars pizza.
Cool.
So 6-shooter Texan, we got 4 of those we're going to give away tonight. That's the main thing we got on the agenda tonight. And I've already got the giveaway tool up. And I don't know what that means, Curtis. I really don't.
Oh, Buzz is back.
Yeah, I think it did. So what we got to do is tell it, preach it, Mike Kester. Bojangles, baby. That's the stuff, man. Bojangles chicken and biscuits will make you throw rocks at a Domino's pizza. I hate to say it, but
Yes, it will. I've eaten Bojangles quite a few times on my trips coming down south.
Yeah, I've had it.
I just want to say that we're not sponsored by anybody.
There ain't no food place in the world that would sponsor us. They'd go broke.
Yeah, Christian, they came from North Carolina. I always thought they were like from Louisiana because of that cayenne pepper on that chicken, but no, they were founded in North Carolina and spread quickly to Georgia and other places. But we love Bojangles around here.
I've never seen them around out this far west. I don't think they're out here.
No, you're just famous for In-N-Out burgers.
We got In and Out.
Yep.
Okay. We had some ideas for topics from Mark Thomas with a C, and we've talked about it talked about a couple of them, but I kind of wanted to wait for him to get here. But what do you do when you don't have data for a cast bullet?
Get an older cast bullet handbook.
Yeah, a lot of older books have some crazy stuff in there.
Yep.
And I gave you guys once a list, a link to somebody's cloud storage or something that had a ton of manuals on it. So
Cornell Publications does reprints of almost all of the old Lyman reloading manuals and some of the others. And in particular, the cast bullet handbooks. You can get the first, second, and third. Of course, the fourth is in publication now. But frequently, if you come up with a cast bullet, especially if it's a Lyman, and you go back into one of those older manuals, it may show up there when it's not in the current one.
I got to get that, but we have a sighting. Are y'all ready?
Oh yes, here we go.
And 3, 2, 1. Hey!
Hey, Mario.
What's happening, Mario?
Mr. Battle Bean himself.
West Coast weirdo.
Tommy's got a good one right there. First, look at the next heavier bullet and use that. Then you can work up a little bit if that's not doing.
Yeah, you can always find something that's similar in weight and profile, and that will seat at a similar depth, and then start low and work up a load.
I've got where
it works well for that stuff too.
I've got where when I want to do something like that, I don't have data, and I've got this bullet, and I can find something similar before I even start thinking about what my charges are going to be. Hey, Georgia boy, I've been watching some of your videos, man.
Yes, sir.
He's a blessed man. What I like to do is make a dummy round first, especially with these. Like any semi-auto handgun or rifle, AR, whatever, and then I start looking at my cartridge overall length that's going to work in the gun, and then make adjustments to the powder. Anybody else do that? Does that seem?
Yeah, not far off from what I've done.
And Tommy boy, you read my mind because that was the exact cartridge I've been fooling with lately. Are we allowed to show ammo?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just cannot show something that has a serial number on it. You can show an upper, you can show ammo.
Like Andy and I were talking on the phone last night. Quick loads is another good one because you can substitute the size, length, weight, dimensions of the bullet, overall length, seating depth. You've got a lot of adjustments in quick loads, and you can come up with a safe start.
You mean you don't just dip the case in the powder till it's full and pack the bullet in it?
With some powder,
it was black powder, yeah, Trail Boss maybe. But
I've been doing it wrong.
Oh man, yeah, it's especially an issue with it seems to me like in the last 10 years there's just been a bunch of new calibers come out. Mostly in rifle. There've been a couple newer ones for handguns, but a lot of newish rifle loads. And that Lyman cast book hasn't been updated in quite a while. It's getting pretty far out of date, and they need to come out with a new issue of that sucker.
New calibers too.
Yeah.
Speaking to the Legend was actually a real easy one, even though there was no data out there, because you had 357 maximum. You could use all that data. Anything 357 maximum was safe to use in the Legend because the Legend was a very similar sized case. It was a little bit bigger, and it was loaded to higher pressures. So even maximum loads in the maximum were below starting loads for the Legend.
Yeah, I just posted that link. Anybody wants it? There it is. I think there's more manuals on it since the last time I posted it for you guys.
Yep, that's a really, really good one.
I downloaded a couple of those, Andy, and they're in my downloads folder on my computer.
There's some good stuff in there.
Yeah.
Price is right, that's for sure.
There's some old lineman manuals and stuff like that. Let me show you this one. And I've got these loaded up, and I got two I want to show you. Well, maybe more than that. But this is a CW bullet. It's the NOE 360 197. You recognize that, Brian? CW?
Oh yeah.
And I've got some similar bullets from Andy. They're not hollow point, but they're zinc. And,
430s. Those are 430s, 358, 430.
Yeah.
And that's what I was trying to replicate with a round nose, with a hollow point. When I bought
that's loaded with. Well, I ain't gonna say that. It should be 1,823 feet per second with 1,455 foot-pounds of energy. The bullet was sized to 356 to work in the 350 Legend. This is my M&P 359 hammer bullet, and that's got the Penta hollow points. But you see how far down in there the bullets are, so that they'll chamber and work. So I can't wait for Scotsman to get his built so we can start sharing some of this stuff. And these are Fusion 160 Fusion bullets, and I've got ladder loads worked up with those. See, it's hard to show anything on StreamYard because everything goes backwards.
Yeah.
You can reverse your camera. There's a button when you set up your camera.
That messed me up even more.
Then you'd be pointing in the right direction.
He got from his chair and walking to the wall, though.
Hillbilly.
I hate I missed that, Georgia boy. The preacher did a podcast on his Backwood Baptist channel. And there's James Pugh.
So me not being a reloader, I would think, like, if you didn't have the data, you start where it comes out the barrel of your gun, and then keep adding till you got accurate shots. Or you keep adding until it just goes boom, like you do a race car engine.
Thanks, Tommy boy. I'll check and see how much I have. I may order some of that from you.
There's Ricky Baird.
Ricky Baird, what's up, man? Hope you had a great week. I know you worked yourself ragged.
Well, Hillbilly, it's kind of like, I haven't been reloading it nearly as long as a couple of these guys on here have. But, the calibers that I do reload for, even if I get a new powder, there's a perimeter that you're going to stay within. And you're going to start on the low side of that perimeter that you're going to be in. So I start on the low side and work up a couple different ones, and then see which one works the best. Such as like loading, like for CW's going to hate this, but like loading for 9mm. All the powders. If you got a fast, medium, or slow burn rate, each one is going to have that perimeter of powder charge. For the fast powders, to the medium powders, to slow powders. So you can start and play within there, and still do it safely, But that's after playing with a lot of powders and a lot of load data and a lot of bullet weights.
Well, let me show these, and I got Freeloaders Network cards. They're great because they got the recipe on the back, and if you can see these on the front, those are five shot groups of 2 different powders with the same bullet, and they have the charge weight on the top, written on the cartridge. CW and some of the other guys put dashes and different colors and all that crap. I told somebody the other day, I said, then I gotta make a key to what it all means by the time I get to the range, because I'll be forgot. Then I'll lose the key and won't know squat. So I just write with a Sharpie, and it comes off right with you put it in the cleaner and it comes right off. I've got, with these 2 sets of ladder loads, I've got Winchester 296 and IMR 4227. And then both of these cast lead bullets are H110, I believe. Yeah, both of those are H110s, and they're not very hot. So that's what Gene's talking about, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for you, Georgia boy. I know that's going to be a 44 Magnum because I saw that video today. And Christian, where I got that idea is from Willie Bullet Man. He says, "What if you drop them?" I said, "I got them all lined up, and it'll be fine." He said, "What if you knock the case off, the whole box off of the bench and into the ground? Then you don't know what's what." And he's got a good point. So ever since he told me that, I've been doing that.
Probably works a lot better than a garage sale sticker.
Those little round orange ones.
Yeah. Hard to get the glue off.
6-shooter Texans got 9 different powder test loads for wife's pistols.
Dang.
I know I've done at least that, but I don't think I've ever done it at one time.
That's a bunch. Well, she got two pistols, right? So you got to do them for each pistol. They're the same. You got 2 of the same.
There's Big Chubb. Want to say welcome to him. Don't think I've seen you out there before, so welcome.
I did when I set up Ms. Hotshot's US PSA gun, I used 4 or 5 different powders and loaded them all at a safe range, had her shoot each one of them and see which one she liked as far as the push, the snap, what she was looking for, and she set it on CFE pistol.
Yeah,
she would
like
that. So
I know 6-shooter he's kind of starting from the very beginning, trying to find a bullet that's going to work well for her and her rifle, and I think she got Vaqueros for the pistols, I believe. So he's got to come up with.
She got Taylor smoke wagons.
Oh, okay. So
and that's what I want if I do that. Edward Petty,
They're nice.
yes, indeed, H110 is very similar. A lot of people say it's the same thing, like Tommy Boy right here. A lot of the loads, you'll see just 1/10 of a grain difference. Cattlemen.
The biggest reason I don't like to push that fact, and I know recently they're the same factory and all that, is they weren't before. And somebody may have old 296 or old H110 that doesn't jive with. And we all know that anytime you change any one of your components, as in lot number or things along those lines, you should start back to scratch and work up your load again, because things can change. So that's the reason I don't like to push the fact that they're the same powders and can be used interchangeably. So treat them as separate. They have a separate name. Different is different. So treat them different to be safe.
And they're pretty much always load. Yeah, when you look into manuals, most of the times, I'll see data for the same bullet for H110 and another line for 296. They're both there usually.
Yeah,
I think every gun is different. Like Tim S just said, my staccato will shoot the softest I can load, and it's crazy. And I'll put those in another pistol, and they won't eject. I'll get a failure, because it's not enough. That staccato is very, very forgiving, but the ammo for it is not what I shoot in the rest of my pistols.
Yeah, Gene Rich B has a 10 millimeter question out there too. I know you dabbled in that.
What's that?
Hey, Mark.
Hello.
Welcome, Mark. Hope you had a good week, buddy.
I had a good week. It was a long week, but a good one. Sorry, I'm a little bit.
A good factory load to know he's shooting 10 millimeter.
Who loads up stiff Underwood wood? Any of those boutique stuff?
Buffalo bore.
Yeah, Grizzly, Underwood. There's another one there that I always forget about.
Pretty much anything with a hard cast is going to be stout. From what my experience with it. What's the other one, CW?
It's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't think of the name. But actually, we're not the best ones to ask this because most all of us don't shoot factory ammo. But I do know that. I do know Grizzly and Underwood and all those big names. Boutique type stuff is going to be loaded to full potential. Like Jeff Smith used to like to say, they don't skimp on the powder. They give you your money's worth on the powder.
Yeah, it's just expensive stuff.
Yeah, I threw it out there, but basically, when it comes to factory, for the amount of rounds you're buying per box, for the money of it, Buffalo Bore is going to be your best bet. Underwood and all that's going to be way more as far as it goes per round.
What's the other big company that I can't think of? I used to buy bullets from when they sold bullets before I got my wide flat nose 200 grain 10 millimeter bullet. I used to buy them from him. Doesn't sell them anymore. Still loads, still makes ammo, but doesn't sell bullets.
No, I do not know.
Boy, oh boy, that's going to bother me. I know I don't have any boxes downstairs either.
Federal, Winchester, Remington.
No, it's along the lines of Underwood, and those.
So Michael Dunn has a question for people like me that don't know squat about powders. How do you know what powders are fairly close to each other that you can use for a replacement powder?
There is none. Just think of it that way. There is none.
Right.
There is none safely.
Get data. Get data or don't do it.
And do not go by the powder burn rates to choose powders. That's just an idea of where things fall. That's not use the data in your manuals.
MCK, we can get grits at the Waffle House. Of course, it's hard to turn down their hash browns. Back to that previous question about Tim S. about the about guns. Woodley, Curtis is asking. I'll go so far as to say, if you've got 2 9mm that are the same make and model, one gun will be different.
Absolutely. Even one serial number apart, it could be totally different.
And with semi-autos, magazines can make a difference sometimes. One of them's got a magazine manufactured by one guy, and another one's got something else, and that particular magazine may not like the ammunition you're using for one reason or the other. The lips on them are different or whatever. There's just, you would think that they'd be all identical, but they're not.
Well, from my experience,
a great example of that would be the Shadow 2. So my Shadow 2 likes particular powder versus Daniel's. His likes a certain powder. I've tried his ammunition in my Shadow 2, and it will not function.
well, from my experiments and everything, the shiny guns always shoot the best, no matter what. So
Everybody knows that. The chrome ones are faster. Same thing with motorcycles.
Yeah, it's good for 10 horsepower or so.
Chrome won't get you home.
Yeah, they do, Tim. They have different personalities.
That's why we always name them after women.
But to your question, Jamie, earlier about what do you do when you don't have data for that? A good example would be, guys sending up various bullets and stuff that I may not have any knowledge of or able to find information on. I do similar to you. I go to the book and I can find what I'm looking for in each book, compare the overall length to similar rounds of that bullet, and I'll get my dummy cartridge made up and see where it's sitting at in the realm of that, and then go from there as far as the powder charge.
Do you do the same if there's only data for, like, say, a jacketed hollow point, and you're using a
jacketed versus cast? You just got to watch your pressures. So your pressure is going to obviously be different. So you got to just be aware of that and start lower. Yep. You got to watch that pressure.
I'll go as low as much as 20% below minimum recommended when starting with a cast bullet when I've only got jacketed data. I mean, I'll really back it down, and do some loads building up from there, but I always start at the very bottom. I like my digits.
I'll go lower than minimum on, like, if I'm doing a revolver round with a cast bullet, I'll go lower than minimum. And I know I shouldn't, but jacketed stuff, I generally start in the middle and go both ways at once. Then when I get to the range, I'll start at the bottom and work up.
Some ball powders don't like to be used at lower powder charges, so know that if you're gonna do that, maybe don't do it with ball powders until you understand their unique idiosyncrasies.
Okay, we still haven't went through the side chat yet. What can we I got an idea. Type in Daytona, and we'll call your name out on the radio, TV. I should have got something easier because I'm not sure I could spell Daytona.
You just typed in Bike Week. Hey, you could have tried this Biketoberfest.
And my point exactly. I'm not calling any names or anything. We've got CW Longshot is on the panel and in the side chat, and we are so glad to have him. Let's see. We got Walter is on the panel and in the side chat. Reloading from the Hot Pot is also. We got Michael Dunn out there. Walks Fletcher. Bama Dad. Bama Dad, there's no way I'm going to ask this crowd to type in Talladega, so I'm just telling you in advance. We got Christian Grest out there, William C. Chapin, Senior Master Sergeant Bulldog, Tommy Boy, Edward Petty, Vanessa Kitty, Walks Fletcher, Artack and Daughters, 6-shooter Texan, Timothy Burkett, Andy 79Z28. And let's put this up here. I'm going too fast to read it. Andre D'Angelo, James Pugh, Johnny 1982, Ashley A, OCD Outdoors. He can spell it. MCK's out there. Duffer 426, the Scottish American 76 Highboy Reloading. What's going on, buddy? We got Bobby Barlow, Harm, Boomstick Revenge. Wes is out there. Tactical Fudd, Dwayne 7834, MCK. Walks Fletcher, Dale Pogue, Old One Guy. Mark Thomas is on the panel. I don't know what that is. Tim S. Edward Petty. Duffer 426. I know, right? James Pugh, Rich B. Vanessa Kitty. Hillbilly Up. William C. Chapin again. Ricky Baird. Vanessa Kitty again. M. Gabriel. Critter 9A. Kyle's out there. M. Gabriel. I think that's all. And Christian Grest. Pat in a bunker. Did you not get a link, Pat? Let me explain something. A lot of people criticize NASCAR. You say what you want to about NASCAR. I'm not going to argue with you. The reason I like to watch NASCAR is that and golf is some of the best Sunday afternoon nap TV you can get.
Isn't that the truth?
I'm talking
and you
about
don't miss much.
Do what?
And you don't miss much.
No, not until there's a big wreck, and then they're going to wake you up screaming and hollering when the big one gets there, and they're going to show it 10 times in slow motion. So,
yeah, I always made sure I recorded it that way. When I fell asleep, I could wake up and rewind it and watch the last 15 laps at least.
Well, Vanessa Kitty, a lot of folks say they only make left-hand turns because they go around in a circle. They race 500 miles and don't go anywhere. I get it, but I'm telling you.
The new quarter-mile world record set by a funny car. There's no car faster at this point other than maybe a jet dragster, but they don't allow them to go that fast. 341.8 miles an hour. in 3.38 seconds.
Woo! Can you feel the repercussion in the stands when that thing goes by off the start?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
Wow.
you have, if you've never been to a Top Fuel race, you have no clue.
I went to the Nationals 2 years ago in Indianapolis and watched John Force win it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh my goodness, man. I met Shirley Muldowney.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cha-cha.
Yeah, I actually have it on where I videotaped it myself of John Force in Heartland Nationals in Topeka, breaking the fastest speed at the lowest time in one pass.
Yeah. Well, that's what this guy just did too.
Yeah.
He's nobody's faster in miles per hour. Okay.
So Bobby Allison and Cal Yarborough got in a fight at one of the races. You remember? Anybody remember which one that was?
I don't watch much of that type racing.
No, I remember the fight, but I do not remember the track.
This is Daytona, wasn't it?
Probably.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, I got to get to. I go to we got a race track up in Calhoun, the next town northeast, but it's only an eighth of a mile. It ain't like that. I need to get down to a real drag race. That seems. Rich B says it was the Daytona 500, and Richard Petty won.
Mm-hmm.
We had when you go to some of these live national team races, and you get to walk around the pits, and I don't know if anyone's done that. You're up behind a Top Fuel car or a funny car, and they're warming it up, and then they open it up, and just when they pound the pedal, quick zaps, and you're standing maybe 30 feet behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it'll blow your hat off, and you'll be blind for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Well,
And
your nose and throat will burn.
Well, Dr. Zink, I was a little spoiled at the Nationals. I was actually a guest of the chassis tech
Okay.
for NHRA drag racing.
Okay.
His daughter is married to one of my best friends, and I got invited to go over. So I went through the pits. I met everybody up close. I went where I wanted to go. So I was I was really spoiled at that event.
Well, most of the tracks that I've been to, anytime you go, I mean, I race at them, but anytime you go to a major event like that, you have full access to everything. You just walk around. It's
Yeah.
Those credentials get you places, don't they?
Well, your credentials that you have get you into more private stuff. Yes.
Yes.
But I'll tell everybody this: you can go to the drag race and meet all the superstars. Pretty good chance of shaking hands and getting an autograph with them. Your chances are more likely there than even meeting a YouTube star and shaking hands and getting an autograph with them.
When I was going to the tracks, I would bring a picture of my car doing a wheel stand with me, 8x10s, and have them sign my picture. And it's so fun because they relate to you a little different than the guy that just wants an autograph, because you're a racer, and and it's like, and they stop and they talk to you. Wow, that's cool. Like Larry Dixon has a 1979 Camaro that he plays with. He says it's a mid to low 10-second car, so he could relate to me. We had great conversation. So, he says a lot of fun.
So my comments aren't showing up over on the YouTube side.
Yes, they are.
I can see them.
Georgia Boy 45. I guess I'm too late.
Yeah.
Showing up, buddy.
Hey, Pat Bunker, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Sounds like everybody on the panel's doing pretty good tonight.
So far, so good.
Well, that's good. That's good. I've been listening in. I've been kind of busy anyway. The wife had to step out for a couple of minutes, so I was on kid patrol. So it's been a little hectic around here.
You're excused.
What's that?
I'm
I
glad
said you're excused. Oh,
Yeah,
Go
the
ahead,
other
Jamie, I'm
comment.
sorry.
I heard Viejo. So, but yeah, so I'll throw my hat in the ring on this racing deal. Yeah, probably one of the coolest things you can do is either go to at least as far as kind of an all access or more access, I'll put it this way, is either drag racing or dirt track racing. Being able to get down into the pits after the races and stuff like that. That's probably my two favorite forms of racing, and being an old dirt tracker myself, so just a lot of quick, fast action on a dirt track versus NASCAR or something like that. And don't get me wrong, I've watched plenty of NASCAR and seen some really good races, but man, those 25, 30 lap races on dirt versus 500 miles on pavement. Yeah, quite a bit of action really quick. So,
Well, Pat, us asphalt guys got a saying. Dirt's for
What's that?
potatoes. Dirt's for potatoes. Asphalt's for racing.
well, us old dirt trackers have a saying too. Asphalt's for getting there. Dirt's for racing on.
Yep, I've heard that one plenty.
Yeah. Now, ain't got anything against it. Ain't got anything against it because it doesn't matter whether you're on dirt, asphalt, quarter mile, circle track, a road course. Man, to get that high up, you got to have some freaking talent, and it is awesome to watch those guys run. It really is.
Yeah. Are you familiar,
So-
Pat? You dirt tracked. Are you familiar with Kenworthy's in Troy, Ohio?
I heard the name anyway.
They had nationals there every year.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they had the big meter ruler for the high jump. And
Gotcha.
They called that jump the Widowmaker. I come around. I come through the Laraco whoops, cut that corner and nailed it and hit that Widowmaker. And I thought I was done. I'm in the air. It's quiet. All I can hear, I can't really hear the wind. Can't really hear anything. And I'm just thinking, I'm gonna die. It's peaceful though.
Oh.
And I went down,
Oh.
boom, and kept on going. It was like, whoo, next time around I slowed down. We'll do that again.
Right. Yeah, I've had some stuff like that on dirt track, and some 15-hour races racing in the middle of the night. Well, you want to talk about something trippy?
Man, those ruts will kill you in the middle of the night.
Yeah, and this was on asphalt. This was on a legit road course, on a 15-hour race. We had 3 guys subbing in and out of the car. So, yeah, it was. Whew. But yeah, I also did some quad racing too back in the day. So don't do much of that anymore though. The old body's a little bit too beat up for that now.
Hey, Mac, man, what's up, brother?
Hi, Julian.
But anyway, yeah, thanks for having me on, Jamie. By the way, if I forgot to tell you, and thanks for the Scotsman for sending me the link.
I'm pretty sure I sent you a link, brother.
Did it go to spam? I wonder.
He even sent you a link or a pizza card, one or the other.
Yeah, we got to get to the pizza cards. I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to forget it again, wasn't I?
Well, Jamie,
got it
before
all.
you jump into that, can I make the hashtag?
Absolutely.
Hashtag Rigby.
Hashtag what?
Rigby.
Rigby.
Already got it set up, brother.
I figured you would, but I'm just throwing it out there.
Okay, what we need to do, let me show this. Go to that. If you're in question about whether the Domino's cards will work in your area, there's the address. But I like yours better than I like mine, so I'm gonna scrap it all and do it over. So y'all
Got a little bit of time.
gotta give me.
They
don't work in mostly. It's mostly going to be east of the Mississippi. Out west here, they're not real.
You want to do behind the scenes while we do the hot pot?
I gotta set that up too.
Jamie's going to use avocado pizza. Hashtag avocado pizza.
Can we spell avocado correctly?
Sardine pizza.
Ooh.
Man, we got
can't spell it.
Put another topic out there.
Say that again.
I said, while you're setting that up, you mind if I throw another topic out there?
Absolutely.
All right. So I don't know how many of you guys have seen, but the new Garmin XC1 chronograph. So my question is to you guys as reloaders, how much is too much when it comes to investing in the tool that's going to help you do what you're looking to do? Because those are running anywhere from $500 to $700, along with things like you got your Pro Chronos. Those are your kind of budget options. You have many other options out there, but you're looking pretty high up there. So how much is too much? Or is there such a thing when it comes to seeking that accuracy?
There's a too much.
I don't know. I'm leaning towards buying one of those. I don't own any chronos, so I want something that I can just put on my bench and use it. Not something I have to shoot through or attach to my rifle. There's two models out there, and one's $599, one's like $7 something. I think in 6 months you might see a bunch of other people with them, and the price will come down. So I'm going to wait a little bit.
Yeah, Jamie, that www.stp cards / location, that's not an actual website.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, that's
link out there.
That's what I've got right there. So I don't know what to tell you, and I don't know what to do.
Blow yourself back up and put that back up there.
It ain't going to work. I typed it in.
Oh, okay. There's nothing else. Okay. I'll be darned.
So
I don't know what Pizza Hut? What Domino's Pizza?
That's Domino's Pizza, yeah.
What type of card is that? What's it called? BOGO card, is that the name of it?
It's not the STP card / the price. www.stpcards.com. Let me see if that works.
Tommy Boy says do it without the www.
Okay. All right. Yeah, why do we need the World Wide Web anymore anyway?
I don't know. Um, as far as chronographs, just me and my buddy, we've just got one of the old shoot through ones, and when we're reloading hand load stuff, he uses it more than I do. But I don't know. It's always seemed to been fairly consistent. Anyway, I can't remember the model of it right offhand. He's got it right now, but yeah, I think if you go with just an old shoot through one that's a pretty decent brand, I don't know. We've had good luck with ours. I just wish I could remember the model of it right offhand. But yeah, that one that you're talking about, Scotsman. The price is going to have to come down before I'd make an investment on something like that for sure.
Well, I see one of the reasons I like it is number one, the size of it is super small, easy, compact, transferable, really easy to take around wherever you need to go with it. But you don't have to shoot through it, just like the lab radar. Now, the lab radar, if you looked at a lab radar is pretty dang big. This thing is tiny. So,
yeah,
and you don't have to shoot through it. So you're saving yourself a lot. So yeah, you're spending a lot more in the beginning of it, but you don't have that risk of potentially blowing it up and having to buy another one.
If you shoot at ranges that don't permit a downrange chronograph, such as most of our opticals, and that's my situation, none of the range, other than on private property, none of the ranges permit you to put an optical chronograph downrange. So you are relegated. If you're going to use one at all, it's got to be from the bench. So that leaves you to one of the radar units or the magnetospeed, or something like that. So, and I've used the magnetospeed. I have an optical, and I have a lab radar, and then I just got this guy. They are expensive, and there's no way you can justify the price of that if you're reloading to save money. All the money you thought you were saving on reloading is going to go into the $600 for this thing. You don't need anything else with it. Comes with a little tripod thingy bop, and which works fine too. So the only way I justify it is my shooting, reloading, casting is a hobby. And it's like if you race cars, ride motorcycles, go ski and play golf, do any other kind of stuff, I don't think too much about the price. I look at something and I ask, is this going to add to my satisfaction and the quality of ammo that I think I'm making, or not? And if I look at a piece of gear and say, I'm not interested, I don't like it, I don't like the looks of it, I don't like the way it works, or any of that kind of stuff, then no, I'm not going to buy it. But when I'm, we were talking earlier about what do you do for load data for a cast bullet, and there's nothing in the books. Well, that's when these guys start to come in pretty handy. You start with what you think is going to be a good load, and you look at it, and you go look in your manuals, and you'll start looking at what kind of velocities the most accurate loads seem to be going at, and that it is helpful for that. We've had these conversations about chronographs in the past, what they do and what they don't do. Standard deviation, all that kind of stuff is nice to know. Sometimes doesn't mean anything really for accuracy, but it does tell us about velocity. And this little guy, this is the best one by far that I've ever used. Like I said, I have the lab radar, I've got a Caldwell optical, and I also have the magnetospeed. Magnetospeed works pretty well, but it doesn't work with all firearms. It's a firearm mounted device, and this little guy is just it's handy. There's only 4 buttons at the top, and one of them turns it on, and the rest of them are going through menus. It's really easy. The screen looks at you. The backside there points down range, and you got to have this reasonably close to the muzzle as far as vertical elevation. But other than that, as long as it's pointed down range, mostly it's going to capture. And I've used it maybe 4 times so far is all, and it hasn't gotten any interference from guys shooting on both sides of me. So that's
Yeah, it's
you
like
know,
they say, what, like up to 12 inches away is the max, I think, distance, or 15 inches from the muzzle. And it has to be like like you said, in line with the muzzle or close to it.
yeah, this one, when I've used it, I tried it with at less than 15 inches below the muzzle, and I tried it down quite a bit further, and it seemed to work just fine.
Okay.
But I'll say 20 inches below the muzzle. They also say that hey, the instructions say be sure you've got at least 20 yards to the target. Well, I shot it at 20 feet from the target. It picked it up just fine. So, I think you got to go kind of experiment with it. But
Walter, let me ask you, how much is like the average price of the shoot through one style?
Oh, $1.50.
$1.50.
Probably, in there. You can get them a little cheaper. You can pay more.
I bought my Caldwell a good while back, and it's I got it on sale for Black Friday for $80.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was a good price. So they go up and down. There's more expensive ones, but
And
That's what I've got.
Anyone out there, the budget options work fine. They work absolutely fine.
Mhm.
The downside is it has to be downrange somewhat. And if you're on a public range, you have to obviously abide by what's going on and cold range, hot range, so on and so forth. So there's some real disadvantages when you have one that has to be out in front. But again, if you on a budget, there's nothing wrong with them. They work just fine.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah,
let me address this question. For like pistol stuff, like Gene shoots competition handguns, so he has to make power factor. So he has to know how much his bullets weigh and how fast they're going. The reason I want one and is for when we go up to shoot at 1,000 yards, I want my standard deviations to be as small as possible. I want those velocities as close together as I can get them. And yeah, it's a lot of money for that, but that's what we're doing. It's important sometimes, Michael, to know how fast your bullet's going, how hard it's being pushed.
When you're making your own ammunition, one of the big things, Michael, is you want to make sure you're being consistent and you want to make sure everything is flowing the way it's supposed to flow. That's why we use those. Because if you're not testing that, you don't know exactly where that line is.
Yeah, and as you both indicated, consistency is a big deal in hand loading. And while standard deviation can be a good indicator of that, it's not really a good indicator of accuracy, but it's an indicator of a factor that can contribute to accuracy, and that's velocity. And particularly at longer ranges, a slower bullet's got more time to drop under the rules of gravity. So if you've got a wide spread in the velocities from round to round, you can't expect them to all land in the same spot at 500,000 yards down there. That doesn't make that much difference in closer ranges, at pistol ranges, distances, I mean by that. But it's also something of an indication then of which powders are going to work the best for a particular caliber with a particular bullet out of a particular gun, because we were talking earlier, different guns can all perform differently. So it'll help you a little bit with that. Plus, I like to know when I'm using a mold that's new to me and I can't find any data that I like. I want to know, what my guesstimation of a good starting load ended up being. So there's that. Is it worth the $600? And you can't justify it on a dollar amount. I don't think, unless you're a competitor.
It's brand new,
You know,
It's going to
Yeah.
be, there's going to be
Unless
more
it's
out
cheap.
there. It's going to come down. There are going to be more people making them. There's been a couple of comments in the,
Yep.
a couple of statements in the comments about companies that are coming out with one. So,
Yep.
it's the latest and the greatest. It's really cool. All the cool kids got them, but I'm going to hold off. I've had a pact for years, PACT, and I've
Yep.
got a cheap Caldwell, and I tend to use the Caldwell more because I don't have to run that cable all the way back. But sometimes it's nice to have that screen right next to you. I know many times you watch my videos, I can't read the screen, or I'll tell you that's 2680, and you look at the screen, and say, you dumbass, it's not. Well, I couldn't read it, So there is pluses to both of them. But
And
that's my thing. I'm just going to wait, and they'll come down in price because there's going to be more people making them.
It's probably matter how many are passed through ones you've shot already and destroyed.
Well, that's the
You're
other advantage. There's two kinds of people out there. One that have shot the, chronograph, and one that admit that they have.
Well, you're preaching to the choir on that one, because I did that with my Mosin the Got one time by accident. And another thing, if you've got on a pass through, if you've got a gun that really barks like a couple of my Mosins do, especially the short barrels, man, they will blow the hoods clear off of those things. I mean, blow them off. Just blow the doors clear off of it. So that gets a little frustrating at times, having to go and put the hoods back on.
I don't know where my comments are going, but
I'm seeing them on the YouTube side.
Yeah.
And on
There's
StreamYard.
There's one right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last one I see it made.
there's another one since then on the YouTube side. Anyway, I was telling Tommy Boy I've only shot one, and that was with my 270, but it really deserved it. It needed shooting. Gene, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Sorry we're running late, brother.
Nah, that's fine. That's fine.
It's time for What's Hot Pot Got?
Hot Pot found this little bitty thing coming through the machine today. We was doing a rough sort. This actually came out of a police department sort, which was pretty interesting, because normally you just see like 9mm and 223, 5.56, 40, stuff like that. But this here, get that, let me spin that around. This is a 25-20 Winchester. Look at that big old dimple in that primer. That's a fat firing pin, isn't it? Kind of a cool little case. Didn't expect to see this today, but just things just appear for me. I don't know why it works that way. I'll give you a little bit of history about it. 25-20 Winchester, or WCF, Winchester centerfire, was developed around 1895 for the Winchester model 1892 lever action rifle. It was based on necking down the 32-20 Winchester. In the early 20th century, it was very popular small game and varmint round, developing around 1,460 feet per second with an 86 grain bullet. But 2 years earlier, Marlin Firearms Company had already necked down the 32-20 and called it the 25-20 Marlin. It was chambered in the model 1889 lever action Marlins long before Winchester did the same thing and put their name on it on the 25-20. It was designed in 1892 and is produced 1895 to present day. The bullet mass type that's commonly used in this is a 60 grain, a 75 grain, and an 86 grain. Isn't that just a cool little cartridge?
It is.
CW can tell you a whole lot more about this than I can, because I find these things and, you know, I look them up, Google them, Wikipedia them, and just get the general gist of it. But it is excellent for varmints and small game. It's said that deer have been taken with this little round. You might want to be pretty close.
I can tell you it works.
To make an ethical kill.
Florida key deer.
I can tell you
when Willie came to Georgia, he brought a Winchester and sold it to Lever Guns 50, chambered in 25-20. And he, that fall after Willie got here, he took a deer with it.
It's a formidable round. I mean, you got to hit the right spot though to get an ethical kill out of it. You know,
well, that's all of them.
Yeah, you're definitely not going to be 200 yards away with this.
It started out as a black powder. That's because of the name there. 25 caliber with 20 grains of black powder. But we've been smokeless for a long time.
Yeah. But that is what Hot Pot's got tonight.
Nice.
You got any inside industry news for us this evening?
Inside industry news: the White River primers that were put on hold by the holding company told us we couldn't sell them. We went ahead and sold them, so they're still for sale. We still have some left. They are going out the door pretty fast. We do not know if we're ever going to see another White River primer shipment come in again. So if you do see them and you want to get them, push the buttons, man. That's what I can tell you. Push the buttons. The distributor has no clue, has got no word from the company. It's HR Holdings on whether he's going to get any more from them or not. There has not been any backlash for us distributing them out now because, well, that's a lot of money tied up in a pallet. A lot of money. Woo! Hopefully it's going to continue. But White River actually ordered a brick of primers from us. And they ordered Gen X primers. I don't know if I said this last week or not, but we shipped them out. Maybe they're just testing to see if we're real and not just some scam company on the internet. I don't know, but they got their delivery confirmed. And like I said, there's been no backlash so far. If there is, man, it's going to go down for our company. That's for sure. Because, man, look, the distributors and the reloading community are a very tight-knit community. It doesn't matter if you're in California, Texas, Arkansas, Maine, Florida. It doesn't matter. It's all one group of guys that buy and sell bulk between themselves. And that's how everybody gets their products. So my boss just happens to be in with that group. Like I said, there's been no backlash so far, but hopefully, fingers crossed, they're good primers. They're a good price. You know, they're less than some of the other brands out there. So let's just keep fingers crossed. I picked up 5 bricks just to have them.
Evidently, looking at MCK's deal out there, he says you don't eat in Indy, you don't eat fish from White River. There must be a different White River because the one here starts down to Arkansas, comes up to Missouri, and all the way to Mississippi is always some of the best fishing over many, many years.
There's what you get if you shrink down that map. You can see that the price card is predominantly in the Southeast, but in Midwest. So you guys up in Ohio could probably use them. They're good in Georgia, Florida, Alabama, some in Mississippi, and a lot around the Houston, Texas area. And seem to cover up Ohio up there, don't they?
Yeah, kind of looks like it.
Well, there's none close to me within 45 minutes to an hour as far as the accepting locations.
I've got a question on that 2520 for you, Gene. Would that 2520 be considered a intermediate cartridge?
I would assume so. But like the comment out there, the 2520 single shot is a different cartridge.
Totally different.
That's a completely different cartridge than this one. This is a repeating lever action, not a single shot.
But single shot is actually about twice the size. It's only a little bit bigger around, but it's twice as long, or nearly.
Yeah, and isn't the head stamp different too?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I was just curious since they necked that. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of the cartridge. It's escaping me for some reason, but it just seems like it would fit right in that intermediate cartridge. Just slide right in there. You know what I mean?
It's the same case as a 218B and a 3220.
Gotcha. Yeah, I learn something new all the time when I come on here.
I learn something new every day at work. I mean, to see this, our sorting machine, I'm putting the video together about my work right now, just the different processes from the bags of scrap coming in the door and then the full process and all the way to stuff getting mailed back out and being shipped back out the door. And I see this stuff, weird stuff all the time coming through, and the sorting machine that comes through goes pretty fast. You know, it's it books right along real nice, and I'm surprised I can spot this stuff. But just doing it for a while now, I see something odd, I snatch it, put it in my pocket. Maybe I'll talk to my boss and see if he'll sponsor an episode of this Georgia Shooting Connection. Make a little minor donation to the cause.
Yeah, that'd be a bit of all right.
Yeah, it's really cool that you have that opportunity, and Gene, and this whole, since we started this segment of yours, we've all just learned a ton, from seeing it, at least in my situation, most of the cartridges you show I've never seen before. Heard about them, but never seen them.
I collect them, and these are ones I haven't shown. So, and then I find one, and on the day, it almost never fails, the day of the show, we'll do sorting, and something like this will pop in. So it's like, I got enough.
I appreciate you. I think it's a really interesting part to the chat night.
Yeah, it is. I second that.
Thank you.
I didn't even know 2520 existed until you brought that up.
I didn't know it existed until I picked it off the conveyor and looked at it and went, oh, okay, that looks interesting. Come home, look it up. Hey, that might be nice for tonight. I'm yet to find something CW doesn't know about, though.
All right, so guys, we've got 6 of these cards. Tread can't use them. He's got 2. And that's why I wanted to stress, make sure that you could use them. But I feel bad I can't give something away that you guys can use or that you want. So we got 6 to give away, and we've got 4 entries. So we got 5 entries now. And it's real quiet. Yeah. I hate to give away something you gotta work for. Of course, Taco makes you work for all his giveaways. He'll put you through it, man. I love Taco, and we still got to get him and Al from NOE on here. I'm sure Al's feeling better. Right, we get one more entry. Rollis, there's an entry, so we'll give
There's
you
6.
till we'll give everybody till after the verse of the week to get their hashtags in if they want to win, and if they don't, then um, those 6 folks that entered will get a card. Or just email me at M Gabriel's in there. So we may get to spin the thing after all. So y'all ready for the verse of the week?
Yeah.
Go for it.
I hope Jamie gets to spin
Yeah.
the thing, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to watch everybody's name come up, ain't it?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of is.
All right, so we're up to Matthew chapter 5 and verse 29. And we
Sorry. I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that, Jamie. Moved my mouse and hit the wrong button.
so what we read here is, all right, let's refresh a little. We heard Jesus say, talking about what the law really means starting in this section. And it talked about murder, and then we talked about adultery. Tonight we're at verse 29. It says, if your right eye causes you to sin, pluck it out and cast it from you. For it is more profitable for you that one of your members perish than your whole body to be cast into hellfire. So I know that sounds harsh, but what we've got to bear in mind is Jesus isn't talking literally here. He's making a metaphorical statement here. It says, there's been people that have taken this comment literally and have mutilated their bodies because of it. And what Jesus is saying here is, if there's a part of our life that's given over to sin, then we must be convinced that that is more profitable for that part of our life to die rather than to condemn our whole life. So, like, for example, Jesus tells the rich young ruler to sell everything he has, give it to the poor, and come follow him. Well, the reason he told that particular one person that was because he held his possessions and his riches above God. So basically what we're getting here is that if we hold anything above God, it becomes our idol. It becomes that's not what God wants for us to do. So we need to be careful that God is first and foremost in our life.
Yeah, he did not tell everybody else to do that. He told that one person.
That one person, yeah,
exactly, yeah.
And so he's making it's a metaphorical statement here. He's anything that causes you to get that gets in the way of God, and that can be cars.
Is your car in that verse?
Yeah, cars or guns or anything that would. Yeah, I don't know if it's good and if these cards are good now or not. So, anybody else got anything to say about that particular verse?
Oh, I think you hit it pretty much nail on head right there, Jamie. You don't have to condemn everything just to cast aside one thing.
I think
Just
to
make sure nothing gets in the road of the Lord, even if it is just one thing. Do not hide that. Do not hold that any higher.
yeah, I think also being said here, maybe at least for me, is yeah, I believe it does not mean for you to actually pluck your eye out. But I think that if you're going to use that as an excuse, it's like, I didn't sin. My eyes made me sin. My eye is the one that caught that, good looking gal walking down the road or whatever, And so he's saying, like, you can't use that as an excuse. Okay. That's not acceptable. If that is your excuse, then get rid of that. If it's your car, your gun, whatever the case might be, um, you can't use that as an excuse because and we all are going to go to Judgment Day one day, and I think he's let us know that excuse just ain't going to work very well. Right there. It was my friend Joe. It's his fault. No, you can't use that as an excuse.
All right, think about what you just said there for a second. All the way back in Genesis, when Adam and Eve are hiding from God because they sinned, what did Adam say?
It's that woman's fault that you gave me. You gave me that woman. It's her fault.
It was that woman that you gave me. So Adam is deflecting here. He's blaming it on the woman and God for his sin.
Yep.
When you stand up there, yeah, that you will be without excuse. But God loves you, and the beautiful thing about that is if you know Jesus is Lord and Savior, you're not going to be judged that way. Because when he looks at you, he's going to see his son. And his righteousness, the son's righteousness, will be imparted onto you. And
I always like to picture it this way, Jamie, when like some people, like when they ask about Jesus and what he did for our sins and everything. I mean, to visualize it, I always tell my children and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, think about it. If you're standing in a court of law and Jesus is in your heart, just think that's your lawyer right there defending you. You sinned, Jesus, but I took those sins, and he was forgiven or she was forgiven. So, I honestly think right here it's like, don't use those excuses because, they're just not going to hold up. It's your heart, man. It's your heart.
Yeah, I look at this passage as almost like an invitation for you to examine your own life and find out what part of your life may have taken you in that direction. And let's face it, when we mess up, we know we messed up. You know, and in your head and your heart, that was wrong. You know when you've sinned and when you've done something that's beyond the term improper. So we know when we've done it. That's when you need to step back and say, okay, now why'd they do that? What was it? What part of my life, that minute, that day, that hour, what led me in that direction? And then block that direction off, get rid of it. Don't go that way. And I think that's kind of where this verse is going. But that's just my interpretation of it.
all right, good deal.
There's some great stuff on the side chat, too.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of
Back to
analogies.
back to Tred's comment right here. Says, if you have a good friend that pushes you into sin, cast him away. My pastor teaches that life is about playmates and playpens. Who are you hanging out with, and where are you hanging out? And we could get deep into Curtis's comment right here, but I've watched a lot of Walter Bunning and CW Longshot videos and some of you other guys out there, and I bought some of that stuff, but it ain't their fault. It was my heart that was inclined to do so, and I resisted temptation or wasn't able to resist temptation. So there you have it. All right, we ready to give these things away? Let's see what we've got here. We're up to 9 entries, and we've got 6 cards to give away. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
I got to share, right?
Ready when you are, Jamie.
Okay, I'm going to find a pen to write these with. I can't find nothing. I'm so prepared, y'all.
That's okay.
Well, you're looking for your pen. It's time for me to get out of here. Everybody have a great night.
Good night, Andy.
Thanks for being here, Andy.
Have a good one,
Night,
Andy.
All right, here we go. Papa's Place.
Congratulations, buddy.
Congrats.
Nice, Papa.
All right, here's for the second one. I don't know how Georgia Shooting Connection got in there. It's from where I was telling y'all what hashtag to put in there. Armament and axes.
Congrats, man.
Yep. Congrats to A&A.
All right, one more time. Here we go. Attacking Daughters. I think I will probably hand deliver that one.
Congratulations, buddy.
Oh, we're going again already. Sorry about that, guys. Boomstick Revenge.
Boom, boom.
Boom will probably
Here comes the boom.
Boom be like, how many pepperonis can I shoot a 22 through?
Yeah.
I guess I should explain. I guess I'll do that later. Basically, it's buy one large at menu price, get a second large free.
All right.
Jamie, you won.
You won, Jamie.
Congrats.
Michael done.
Michael.
Congrats, Michael.
And we need one more winner. M. Gabriel.
M. Gabriel.
I think he
Congratulations, Gabe.
He said he's out.
Yeah, we got to do another one. Nothing in
He
his
can't
area.
use it.
No, he
Yeah,
can't
he
use it.
found out.
Raleigh Carvelis.
Velez.
Congratulations,
There you go.
buddy.
Okay, Ross, good deal, man.
You didn't miss our attack. You won.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I almost had enough to give everybody one.
And did you see
Raleigh, Artac 1. Papa's Place, Boomstick. So Artac's here.
Boomstick's here.
Boomstick's here.
M. Gabriel said he was out? Did you already redraw?
Yeah. Yeah, we rolled again.
Okay.
We need A&A to put something in there. Well, actually, I know A&A stuff, so. Thanks, Tread. So
Yep.
2 of these are coming from Tread, and these are from the guys that bought these to support Rigby. So thank all of y'all for all you do for us. 6-shooter Texan, she was tied for second in the school. So I think that's good. She sold 16 cards.
Yeah, good deal.
Okay, so let me do this. Papa's Place, are you kidding me? That's the first time you won anything? All right, so what y'all need to do is I'm putting my email in here. Send me an email. I need your screen name, your username, and a mailing address. And there's my email, and we'll get these out to you. No kidding, Papa's Place. I can't believe that. Or that email Tread's got up there. Either one will work. So just send us your mailing address and your real name and your screen name, and we'll get these out to you as quick as we can. And I'm going to leave it up there for just a couple of minutes, and then we'll start going through the room. What have we forgot to do tonight? Mark, you said nothing.
Yep. Just sitting here enjoying the show.
I think you got it covered pretty good, Jamie.
No, I'm not. Before we get out of here, I want Scotsman to talk about his special guest Sunday night.
All right, so for those of you that haven't heard or seen the video, we have Mark J. Victor coming on from Attorneys on Retainer. You guys don't know what Attorneys on Retainer is. Attorneys on Retainer is a completely different program from your insurance-backed companies like USCCA and the like, where they have a lot of restrictions as to what they can cover. Attorneys on Retainer does not have that restriction. They have a lot more to offer, and they're very affordable for what you're getting. So we have him showing up for the first hour of the show this Sunday, 7 o'clock Eastern. And he's going to talk and answer all your questions. So if you guys have questions, bring those questions to him. I have sent off a half dozen questions just to get started. So they have a base of where they're going to start. The show will go slightly differently than normal just because, again, he's only going to be there for the first hour. So normally when we start the show, we'll go through the room and go through everybody. We're probably going to skip that part and just go straight to Mark and start going with what he's got once we've done the pledge. We always do the pledge. That's never going to change. The pledge will always be there, and that's what we'll start with. But once we get through that, then we'll jump into Mark and get that going, because I want you guys to have the opportunity to ask as many questions as possible and get as many answers as possible. I did a lot of research on this company before I talked to them and asked them to come on, and you know, they're being very gracious coming on to such a small channel as myself and jumping in and answering the questions. So again, if you guys can show up, please do so. And I hope it'll be a great show to see everyone there and get a lot of questions answered, and hopefully get some of you guys signed up as well. I will throw it out there, and I've said it once before, but I am an affiliate now. They were gracious enough to make me an affiliate. So if you guys do want to sign up for that, there is a link that is in that chat that will be there as well. So if you do sign up, it kind of helps out on this side of things for me. I've never really done a whole lot of things with that kind of thing before in the past. But I have Craft Holsters, and now I have Attorneys on Retainers. So I have just the 2 affiliates, but it all helps out, and, you know, little things, man, little things. So I appreciate everyone out there. And if you can make it, I'd love to see you guys there. And again, ask as many questions as you want. We want to try and get as much answered as we can in that first hour.
Awesome, buddy.
Very cool.
Good. Sounds good, Scotsman.
So I think I've had time to write that thing down. So, yeah, how that works is if you buy a large pizza, you get the second one free. So hopefully it'll save some money. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the show Sunday night, man. I've resisted U.S. Law Shield or USCCA. I don't know why.
Well, and I have my own issues with places like USCCA, and we'll get into that on the chat. But I have my own issues with that company for many reasons. But a lot of things came up this past year, and it hasn't been that long. You know, it's just been in the past 6 months. There's a lot of other stuff that came up that really stands out and makes a difference. And if you get into that situation, it's a big deal. It's not a small thing. It's a big deal. So having something that you can count on is what you're trying to do. And unfortunately, some of these insurance companies, there's just no way you can count on them.
Well, that's the only thing that an insurance company is good for, is to produce when they're needed. And if you can't count on them to do that, then yeah.
Yeah,
and the problem with a lot of them is, and that's one of the things that, again, I did a lot of research on this company before I even asked them to come on and be a part of the show and the rest of it. Was I wanted to dive into some of their videos. So I dove into a bunch of different things, and they dive into the contracts, and they go through all the different contracts and explain all the contracts. And if you see all the things that get excluded, there's so many things that get excluded. And it's things that really shouldn't be. Because if you get into that situation, that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to be there to help you and cover you and take care of you. But insurance companies are never there to do that. Insurance companies are there to make money for themselves. They're trying and get by and get out of it if they can get out of it. So
my grandpa always said life insurance said you're betting on you dying, they're betting on you living, and if they win, they're going to say you're cheating. They're not paying.
Yeah, this is the way I've learned to look at it. Is if they have a .com, which means commerce, on their website, then they're there to make money, and particularly they're wanting your money. So that's one of the ways I judge. But anyway, I digress. So let's start going through the room and clearing the floor for Mr. Gizzard Gary, who will be on at 10 o'clock. And Hillbilly's got to go over and help him pick the eggs up out the chicken coop. So we'll let him go first. That way, if he wants to, he can bug out and go on over there. But you don't have to, Hillbilly. You can hang out with us all you want, buddy.
Well, I sure appreciate it. Thank you all so much for having me on here. Always a fun way to start out the weekend. I enjoy it every Friday night. Man, side chat over here is just always awesome too. I mean, just great stuff. I learned so much from you guys, and I thank you all for that. So what I got coming up this weekend, tomorrow night we got Guns, Beer, and Therapy, and that's at 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. And I did hit the 1776 mark, and that's why I got the hat on. I wanted to make sure I didn't forget. So not this Saturday, but thank you, buddy. Thank you, guys. Next Saturday, we'll be doing the 1776 giveaway. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun with that. I really do.
Tell us quickly how to enter that giveaway.
Oh, well, I'm going to be giving away quite a bit of stuff there that night on the channel, just by using the hashtag. But I did have a kind of a grand prize set aside. And for you to be eligible for that grand prize, you need to go over to my X, which was formerly known as Twitter, and follow me over there. And I have a video posted about the giveaway and stuff. It's like the very first deal. So you just comment on there and follow me. Comment 1776. Your name will get into that grand prize giveaway, or I'll say grand prize. It's like just a bigger prize, And the reason I'm doing that is because I have very fortunate to have some really good affiliates, and I can post stuff on there that YouTube will not let me post there. So that's the main reason for getting people over there, is so they can get a good deal, sale price and all that stuff. And so that is the reason for me doing that. And I mean, 1,776 subscribers. I'm like, just got to have a party for that. I mean, So
what do we enter under that video?
Just type in 1776, and that will get you.
I've been fighting with that for 2 weeks now. So
I do believe you have to be on Twitter to do that. Kind of like YouTube. I have family members that is not subscribed to me or any of that stuff because they're like, I ain't signing up for YouTube, So, I mean, we all know YouTube's not that bad, to sign up for. So it's kind of probably the same way over there. You do have to probably have a X account, same as you do on YouTube to follow somebody. So anyway, we'll do that. Not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. And I think we'll have a lot of fun. I don't want to take up any more of anybody else's time, guys. Thank you so much for having me here. I appreciate y'all and love y'all.
Love you, brother. Thanks for being here.
All
Good night,
thank you.
Hillbilly.
All right.
Pat in the bunker, you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. Hopefully everybody can hear me just fine. I made my way back down into my bunker. The missus showed up, so uh, yeah, just want to say thanks for having me on. This is the second week in a row, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. All the features, the what Hot Pot's got, and the verse of the week and everything. I really love the format and everything what you're doing here, Jamie. Uh, I really feel fortunate to come on here and hang out with you guys and be able to do this and be able to share what little knowledge I have. But nonetheless, being able to learn from you guys uh, all this knowledge that comes into this room, different calibers, and just in life in general. So I am humbled to be able to come on here and hang out with you guys. So definitely appreciate it.
Well, we're glad to have you, buddy. Thanks for being here. Mark Thomas, what you got coming up this week?
Well, don't know. I been having a busy time, been keeping moving. I haven't done any videos for I think almost over a week. I haven't had any time to reload. Been doing a little bit of other work, but we'll see what we can do this coming week. If I get a chance, I'll try to make a range trip. I do have Monday off. Just been enjoying the winter weather. We had a pretty good storm the other day, and we got about somewhere between 3 to 8 inches of snow coming tonight. So I'm going to be up tomorrow morning shoveling snow. So thanks for having me. Sorry I was a little bit late. We had a late family dinner, and I don't miss a chance to have dinner with my family. So thanks for having me. Been great. Moving on to Walter, I think.
Is it me? Hey, I got something I want to show off just real quickly. How many of you guys got your Paul Harrell shirt?
Very nice.
Very cool.
Oh, now I'm jealous.
I thought that was a worthwhile benefit. I always enjoy his channel. But anyway, so what do I got coming up? I'm hoping to get through this cold. Every time you see me closing my screen off there, is because I'm hacking up a fur ball in the bathroom. Gosh, it's terrible. So I'm looking forward to getting rid of that this coming week. We had a Free the Few Friday video up today over on the Rumble channel, and we've got a Moldy Monday coming out on Monday. We're getting close to the end of that. I'm working on a couple of ideas to what I'm going to do when that series closes out. But we've got flood watch going on here in my county. We got a big Pacific storm coming in for Sunday through Wednesday, it looks like, they expect what we call coastal flooding, and that means our low-lying areas that are close to the ocean. When a big storm comes in and pushes up pretty good surf, that with the heavy rain brings the creeks down, and all the little towns that are the beach towns got local flooding. So no range days the first part of the week, but hopefully I'll be through this enough and get out next Thursday or Friday to range, get some shooting done, and that's kind of what we got going on. Nothing really out of the ordinary here. How about you, Mr. Gene? What's up with the hot pot?
Well, I gotta do some work tomorrow. Probably hit the range Sunday. It's going to be in the mid 40s, so that'd be good to get out, do some shooting, do some ammo testing for my open gun, and stop by and got our shirts for the event.
Oh, cool! Yeah.
So if you're not going to be lucky enough to actually get to be a part of it, I'm going to do a full video of everything. It's probably going to be nice, long, and slow, but I'm going to go ahead and video the whole eclipse and then put it on the channel. So other than that, I don't know what I'm going to do next week. Try to get some videos done. I got some things coming in I'm working on. Man, just trying to live the good life. That's about it. Thanks for having me on. Man, side chat was great. Topics tonight were good. I really like showing that little piece off. That was fun. And I just hope everyone has a blessed weekend.
Thank you, Gene. Thanks for being here, brother. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Mr. Scotsman.
Appreciate all of being here, man. Good to be here. Good to see everyone out there. We had lots of good comments out there, lots of good folks in the side chat. So thank you, everybody out there. We had a lot of people on tonight. So thank you very much. Guys, again, if you can, make it Sunday. Please jump over and ask questions. We want to try and get as much done on that show as we can. Again, we're limited to an hour. Obviously, he's a busy man, has a lot going on. So we want to try and get as much done as we can on that show as possible. So hope to see you all there. And as always, appreciate being here. And thank you all.
Thanks for being here, brother. We appreciate you. I'm looking forward to it. CW, what you got coming up this week? 2 videos a day, every day?
I'll have at least one. I got them all loaded up and sitting in queue now, so they'll be there. I want to thank everybody on the panel and thank everybody in the side chat. You guys make the show for us, and we really appreciate it. Had some good, really good content tonight. Really good to see. Great to see all you guys every week as well. I got some 25-45 stuff. I got some reloading stuff, and I did about 3 trigger pull Thursdays, so I'm about three Thursdays out with that too. So all that's pretty good. I'm sure I'll have some more as the time goes by. I'll try and get out to the range next week. We'll see what this weekend brings. We got snow also coming. We had a little bit this morning, and we got some coming, I think, tomorrow night. So probably the same one that's hitting you there, Mark. But we'll see what that happens. We got pretty good thawing, melting on hillsides, but I got about 14 inches the other day, so it's there's still quite a bit out there. But it is February in New England, so that's to be expected. What about you, Jamie? What you got coming up? You gonna finish some videos?
Yeah, man. I got 4 or 5 I need to finish up and get out there. I won't do them all at once, but there's a lot of stuff going on. I got side work I'm behind on. I got housework I'm behind on. Got a grandson coming within the next 2, 3, 4 weeks. Got to make room for him, and I still work. I still go to work every day. So I appreciate all you guys in the side chat. We couldn't do what we do without you. Obviously, you guys on the panel make the show. Thank you for letting me hang out with y'all on Friday nights. And we hope the Lord blesses y'all real good. And if he's willing, we'll see y'all next Friday night at 8 o'clock. Say goodnight, y'all.
God bless everyone.
Night, everybody.
Well,